Wonderful. Welcome everyone, the Forensic Networker call. So we have all of our Forensic Networker Nation here on the call tonight. Continue to send out your reminders. You do not want to miss this call. Every call is important to all of us to build ourselves and make ourselves better. My name is Drusilla Baksha. I've been with Opulence Global for I was 4 years and over already. Time flies when you're having fun, right? And it's been absolutely amazing. I joined this business because of two reasons. I wanted time freedom with my children and I needed financial freedom. Opulence Global afforded me to have the time freedom with my children for the past 4 years, and now I'm working towards my financial freedom. So there you go, a little bit about me. I absolutely enjoy what I do, and we have, all these 5 massive industries. But tonight is more about us learning the forensic way of building our business. And here I'm going to introduce to you our youngest millionaire, our top leader in the company, Mr. Rene Liao, that will be joining us. He will be speaking tonight as our CEO is off celebrating his birthday. So happy birthday to our CEO. You can also send out your wishes to him. Now, Mr. Rene Liao is from Toronto, Canada. He basically, had a career working at IBM and TELUS, making $80,000 a year for a lot. That's a lot of money, but for Mr. Rene Liao, he always knew that he could do more and more with his life. So he was introduced to Opulence Global at the time. It was GWT. He was introduced to this business by his sister. Today, he is the youngest millionaire in the company. He's car qualified. He drives a $200,000 Tesla. He's been trip qualified, MGRS qualified. He's happily married to a beautiful lady named Heidi after proposing to her with a $47,000 Fairy Marsh ring. That ring is also from our wonderful company. He has 2 beautiful boys, Rex and Leon. And because of what Opulence Global has afforded him, Rene is able to travel the world globally. He's able to travel and enjoy and also travel with his family as he built his business. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my absolute pleasure to always be here to introduce to you Mr. Rene Liao. He will share much more about you as he continue. Rene, the floor is all yours. Please take over and have a wonderful and forensic training tonight.
Okay, well, again, thank you so much, Drusilla. Always a pleasure to be hosted by yourself, of course, too. And I'm sure, with no doubt in mind, that you're going to pass the hosting examination, of course, to become a qualified presenter. So don't worry about that. Thank you so much. Yeah, so a very good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone else that we have on the call so far. It's again Rene Liao here, live in Taiwan, and really excited to always be able to do any kind of training for our wonderful Opulence family. And I was trying to decide last night what to talk about today, because literally there's so many things we can talk about, and I thought, why not talk about, I guess, something that I think, kind of going back to the basics and what I think can really help everyone. If you're in your business right now, oftentimes, you might go through really exciting times and things are really busy, but then at other times you might feel like things are kind of slowing down. And so I thought, why not do a training today, kind of just to remind us all on really how to get your business booming again. So if that's what you're looking for tonight, maybe send me some love and just let me know in the group chat that that's what you want to hear, is how to get your business again booming again, and what can we be doing to get more activity in our business. So if that's what you're looking for, yeah, okay, I can see definitely the responses coming in, and great to see all those responses. And of course, whenever you do participate in a training, of course, you get a lot more value from it, as I've learned personally. So I know what it feels like, if you're in that situation where perhaps you had some stuff going on and all of a sudden, you feel like, okay, are things slowing down? Are you less busy? Or more importantly, are you doing things that you feel like are really repetitive and it's not really getting you anywhere? And so what I'm talking about that we've heard before, I'm really going to sort of try to break it down for you and give you more tips and ideas, is really how to keep your flow of prospecting up. Because again, I've seen this so many times with different people, and it's funny how, I guess, the term leader can go flying around sometimes, loosey-goosey. But I've met people that actually can come into a company and they'll have a great start. They'll have tens, 20s, and hundreds of people get started in the business, and then they kind of reach this point where things slow down. And the only reason why, and I guess here's what I've learned after 14 years of doing this business, the only reason why you will ever feel not busy or you'll feel like things are slowing down is only if you have slowed down your prospecting, if you're basically not meeting new people. And I think the challenge some people go through is maybe they did the right thing and they made their list. So they made their list, which is a great start. And if you haven't made your list, you've got to make a list. If you're wondering, well, what is a list? A list is basically, as part of the Forensic Networker training, but much more in depth with the Forensic Networker training, is to be able to make a list and keep track of your list. And I don't know how many times we've tried to teach this to people, and there's definitely a pattern. Like the people who constantly struggle in the business, and then they come to us for coaching or advice, and then my first question is, well, have you made your list? And oftentimes the question is that the answer is no. And then if they said that they have made the list, then my second question is, well, have you been adding to your list? And again, most of the time the answer is no. So it's funny how it seems so simple, right? It's such a simple thing. And I recall when I was in Thailand, I did a bit of a training on this as well too. And I asked people, like, so if you made your list, where did you track your list? And right now, if you're on the call, let's do this. How many of us here, I'm going to ask the same two questions. How many of us here have made a list? Let's see how many yeses we get here from the team of people who actually have made a list. Okay, great. I see some yeses coming in. Fantastic. I do see yeses coming in. Great. So if you are on the call and you haven't made a list and you're wondering, well, why are you not having perhaps the success, or even more success, or having success? Well, that's the first answer. Why you still haven't made a list yet. And so part of being successful in this business is being coachable, and not thinking that we know everything, and not take for granted such a simple step. I'll tell you why later on. It's such a vital step. Okay, so again, for those who did say yes, the second question we wanted to ask is, have you been constantly adding to that list? Have you been adding to that list? And let's see how many yeses we can still get there. That's awesome. Okay. And now by adding, I don't mean adding one name per day or one name per week, right? That's okay. So the key thing is here is to have some honesty with ourselves. And yeah, if the answer is not really, the answer is not really, right? If the answer is no or not yet, thank you again for being honest, guys. Sometimes, right? So we always got to be adding to our lists, right? Now you might be wondering, well, where can we add people to a list? And we're going to get to that in today's call as well. And I guess the third question, if you've done the first two, okay, and great, or not yet, so that's a great answer as well too, as long as we're honest with ourselves here, right? Because we need to constantly, on a weekly, daily basis, be trying to add to our list, right? And yes, we're going to get to different trainings on how to add to your list. But the third question now is, well, how do you track this list? How do we track this list? Are you using your iPad? Are you using your iPhone? Are you using the Forensic Box? Are you using a spreadsheet? Let's see your answers here, guys. How are you guys tracking your list? And while the answers do come in, just want to point the importance of this list again is, when you go to, wouldn't you agree that every professional business needs to track their customers? Because when you go to your dentist or your eye doctor, usually when you walk into your dentist, you'll see the front desk, and right behind the front desk, you often see like a whole wall, right? What's on that wall, guys? So you go to a dentist, and you go to the front desk, there's a receptionist who's either who's either taking phone calls, welcome you in, but what do you see behind the receptionist? There's a huge wall of this stuff. Yeah, it's files. It's every like patient cabinet, every customer, every prospect is literally, they have one folder per person, right? Files, that's just right. So even a basic dentist or doctors or optometrist, they all again have this list. And what do you think is the job of the receptionist? So the job, right, not only of course is making phone, is taking calls. Not only is the job of the receptionist to greet and tell people when to go in for their appointment. What else do you think the receptionist is doing with all of these files, guys? What do you think is the job of these people? Yeah, John's right. The job of the receptionist, aside from taking appointments and booking appointments, is to call every day. They simply go to the pile of files behind them, they'll grab a stack, put it on the table, and call them. One by one, doing follow-ups, right? But not just follow-ups, they're also doing, of course, prospecting. Because perhaps they have someone who's never come in, who inquired before about, teeth cleaning. They're gonna call. They're calling all these prospects, right, to essentially offer some kind of a service. So my point though is, can we see how important it is now for us in our business that if we want to have true success, we must treat our business with equal respect as the optometrists, dentists, doctors do, and also maintain a list. Okay. Now, I'm surprised that no one actually wrote the answer. They used their phone to track their list. I see Forensic Box. I see a book, which is all great. Okay. And if you are on the call and you do use your phone to try to track your list, I would advise not to, because you need some place to track your list that is purely 100% just for your business. So the Forensic Box is just for your business. The file cabinets behind the dentist, it's just for the business. If you have your names in your phone or iPad or Google spreadsheet, like I tried to do it before, what happens is the second you turn on the problem is that that device is not just purely for your business. You've got Facebook installed, you've got Instagram installed, you've got your emails installed, you've got text messages coming in, you've got a million different things happening on your device that the second you open it, instantly it distracts you, right? It sends you somewhere else, basically. Next thing you know, it's been like 15 minutes and you're watching all these videos or YouTube or TikTok and you've lost track of what you're supposed to be doing, which was to go to that list, right? So really important thing, again, is to, again, if you're on this call till today and you still haven't made a list, I don't know how serious you are about wanting to have success. If you're just here just to kind of enjoy the products and sell some products here and there, yeah, you don't have to have a list. You can just sell products, and do it and do the business sometimes and make money sometimes. And that's nothing wrong with that if that's what you want out of this business, right? For myself, I want to have a lifelong residual income. I want to have a very proficient team that was all professionals as much as possible to follow the system and to build a huge residual income for myself. If that's what you want, not only do you have to follow the training, but you also want to make sure you pass down this training to who, guys? Who else should we, aside from us following the training, what else should we be trying to do? We should be trying to teach our teams to do the same thing, right? If you have 100 people in your team, and they're all doing the business sometimes, well, then you'll probably make a paycheck sometimes as well too. If you have a team of people who are all duplicating, that's right, duplicating, and not everyone will, but if even 20% of your team, right, the 20-80-20 rule, 70-30 rule, if 20-30% of your team was in the same mindset, the same training, having a system to follow, imagine then what would happen to your business, right? And that, it's funny, this is the secret. If you ask me, if there's one secret to having a longevity business in direct sales or in any business for that matter, it's what we just talked about. Making a list, growing your list. Making a list, growing your list. Making a list, growing the list. And what usually happens for certain people, again, I started by saying sometimes the word leader gets thrown around because someone joins a company, there's a lot of stuff, and suddenly what happens is these so-called people might come into a company and they have not even a list, but they have people that they know, and they share with everyone that they know, call it 300 people. They share with all 300 people this amazing product and opportunity, and a lot of that converts into business, right? That's how it works. But what happens is that they haven't learned the basic skills, which is constantly growing your network. So eventually, once they've gone through their initial list of people, what do you think happens then to them? Now, they because they haven't learned the basics here, which is to constantly grow your list, they feel that things have slowed down. They feel like, yeah, I guess John has the much more direct way of saying it. They die. They die out because they weren't following this system. Their team wasn't following the system. That whole group that came in, again, it's like the blind leading the blind. So again, to these people, nothing else is wrong with them. Everything is wrong with the business. So they think that it's the business's fault. So what do? They go and find the next opportunity, the next product, or the next service. And what do you think happens now? They bring the same 500 people or 300 people, and they try to do the same pitch and do the same thing to the same 300 people, but a new product. Again, they feel like things are moving because it's a new product. They might get a few more new sales. They're busy again, talking to the same 300 people. But then what happens, right? They don't learn. They don't duplicate. They're running in circles. Yeah, running around the bush. And they feel things are dying. So then they go to the next product. And to this day, like I meet some people sometimes who tell me, Renee, I've been in network marketing for 30 years. This is my 50th company. I'm like, oh no. I'm thinking, boy, do we have a lot to teach you. And it's funny how they even say it with pride. They're like, Renee, I've been in network marketing for 30, 40 years and been part of 50 companies, as if it's like a trophy. It's like a number. It's like higher than the number, the better. No, in this industry, the fewer amount of companies you can be in, and the more success you can have, that is called success. Not running 50 different companies in 50 years or in 25 years. Yeah, junkies as we call them. And so, I hope this talk really drives home with all of you, because I don't want to see any of you making the same mistake that I've constantly seen other people do, where they think they blame the products, they blame the company, they blame the comp plan, they blame the corporate, they blame everything else, and it's never their own fault. It's never about them, but the reality is that it is them. And again, thank you, Carolyn, for not being shy to speak out. Again, this is a very private meeting between all of us here, and no one judges anyone here. We all learn from each other. Yeah, so some people are MLM junkies until they land in Auckland and realize, okay, I've been doing it the wrong way, right? So now that we've gotten that, out of the air, and we've understand now the importance of really, really building that list and adding to that list, I think that sometimes one thing that people ask is, well, where do I go and add to my list? Like, how do I go and meet new people, right? And what do I say to these people? So, quick tips here. First and foremost, on your phone, I'm not sure if you've ever actually done this, but is every single person in your phone in your list? That's the question. Let's see your responses, guys. Please do respond. Is every single person in your phone book in your list? Let's be honest. Let's be absolutely honest. Is every single person in your phone book in your list? I love the honesty, guys. I love it. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Okay. And so my next question now is, okay, why is not every single person in your phone book in your list? And let me share a story first before you answer that question. Okay, let me share a story first. When I first got started, of course, I heard this training, make a list. And I've learned by then to be as coachable as possible. So I recall vividly going to the Tim Hortons on Finch and Don Mills. Yeah, Finch and Don Mills. There's Tim Hortons there. Or the Stills and Don Mills. Either Stills and Don Mills or Finch and Don Mills. There's a Tim Hortons anyways. And I went there with a friend of mine. She was studying. I had already graduated. And while she was studying, I was just hanging out. I just finished my meeting. And I went to meet with her. And I was just hanging out. And my goal that night at the Tim Hortons, which is like Canada's coffee shop, was to make a list. Because I heard make a list. My goal was, okay, Renee, go and make a list. And I recall vividly with I had this book. I bought a special book because I didn't know the forensic system back then. Yeah, I just got started. I had a book and turned to the first page and I had my pen ready to go. And I started thinking, okay, who do I put on this list? And it's funny how, because back then it was a fashion company, right? Only fashion. So I had all this prejudging going on. I was thinking all my programmer friends, they wouldn't want fashion. And so I actually struggled making my list. I sat there for, I don't know for how long, and I told my friend, you know what, I don't know who to add to my list. And my friend gave me the most powerful answer without even knowing how powerful it was, because it really did a number on me. And she simply added, what she said to me that got my pen flying afterwards, she says, well, Renee, like, why did you join? Because, like, you're a smart guy and, I respect you and, why did you join? Because if it's good enough for you, it's got to be good enough for all of your friends, no? And that was the question she asked me. She said, if it's good enough for you, isn't it good enough for your friends and family? And she said, well, why did you join, Renee? And then I started thinking to myself, well, why the heck did I join? Right? Now, forget my answer back then. Let's talk about your answer right now. You joined because you probably found some incredible health products, right? That are super affordable, yes? You probably joined because you want to have extra income, yes? Is that what you guys are here for? Tell me in the group chat, what are you guys here for? Why did you say yes to this opportunity? Why did you say yes? What was it for you? The health products? The money? Health? Wealth? Both? Health and wealth? Help others? Right? Tax benefits? Tax savings? Building a business for your future for your future generations, your forever home? Or are you trying to build a legacy, a forever business for your children and your children's children? So now that we have your answer, I'm going to ask you the same question that my friend asked me. If it's good enough for you, is it not good enough for your people, your friends and family? So now that we've got that out of the way, back to the question with all of the people, the traveling. I mean, gosh, like what other business can let you travel the world? I mean, me and John were having a time of our life together with Amarjeet in Thailand, and we were like just laughing about it. We're like, what kind of a business pays you to travel, help inspire, pour into other people, eat the best foods, and just hang out with like-minded people, and you're just changing the world, changing people's lives, and you're having the time of your life. I mean, that doesn't exist in any other industry, right? And you're getting paid for it the whole entire time. There's nothing better. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, right? Back to my initial question, why is not every single person in your phone book in your list now? Don't you think they want better health? Don't you think they want to have extra income? Don't you think they want to have tax brackets? Don't you think they want to travel the world and have residual income? Is it kind of making sense, guys? Okay. Is it kind of making sense now? Why my pen started to fly? So then, every single person in my phone book was in my list. Because if they were in my phone book at some point in time, I had to talk to them or got a referral, and that's why I added their name into my phone book. But here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing, right? Everyone wants better wealth. Everyone wants better health. Everyone wants to have extra money, time freedom. They all want that. The thing is, they don't want to be sold on that. They want it, but they don't want to be sold on that. Well, what do I mean by that, guys? What do I mean by they don't want to be sold on that? They don't want to feel like you're trying to sell them something. Does that make sense, guys? People want it. I wanted it. You wanted it. But you and me also did not want to be sold on it. To be felt like a sales target, like we're a target of someone. Yes? No one likes that feeling. You go to the mall, you want to buy something, you're window shopping, especially in like these, it's funny, right? Usually in like the less expensive clothing stores, no one really bothers you. It's usually in, shoe stores and like high-end luxury stores. The second you walk in, you are targeted, right? The second you walk in, it's like, good evening, sir. Can I help you with something, right? And sometimes some of the salespeople just don't know when to stop, right? They'll keep on you and make you uncomfortable. You feel this overwhelming pressure they're putting on you, right? Yet you'll meet other salespeople that you'll meet, and you feel like you're just chit-chatting with them, right? And maybe you didn't even feel like chit-chatting, but they just got into a groove with you, and next thing you know, you're chit-chatting, you're heeing and hawing, and you may even go and buy something. But my point is, you never felt sold. You never felt pressured. And one of the key things, again, about this business, and I trained this as well in Thailand. So if you're in Thailand, sorry for the repeat of information, but I think sometimes it always serves as a good reminder, is in sales, there's always two kinds of feelings that you're going to have, all right? One feeling is that you're chasing someone. And every time you chase someone, it feels like you're pushing them further and you chase them harder. Does that make sense, guys? Okay? Is that the feeling that we want to have in this business? Right? We don't want to have that feeling, and I hope it makes sense, right? The feeling you actually want to have in this business is where they're coming towards you. Like you have this invisible line where you're kind of just, you're not even pulling, they're just coming towards you like you're a magnet. You're like a magnet. Okay, you're a magnet. Yeah, thank you, Alan. The dog never catches the car or the cat, I guess. Both, right? Cats are fast. Cars are fast. But you want to feel like a magnet where they're just sort of being pulled in towards you because you knew how to have a proper conversation. So always try to remember, if you're ever having a conversation and you feel like you're kind of chasing them or encroaching on their space, you might need to take a step back and slow a bit down, right? And if you want to ask me, what is the best way to have that? Sorry for if you hear the rain in the background, guys, but it's pouring in Taiwan. Finally, a bit cooler. But if you want to have that feeling of this magnet, like you're the magnet, do you guys want to know how to create that magnet feeling, like how to become a magnet? Does anyone here want to know the secret of becoming a magnet and getting people to come towards you rather than chasing someone else? Okay. The secret is to eat durian. To eat durian. Your breath will smell. No, I'm kidding. If you know what a durian is like, I love it. It just smells as if something died, right? I'm kidding. So the secret, no, I'm just kidding. The secret to being a magnet, okay, it's not eating durian, is to create curiosity. That's it. Create curiosity. And how do I create curiosity? There's many ways, right? One way is to ask questions and share stories. But curiosity will always be your friend, you know? And so, for example, when I meet someone, and we start, and by the way, I want to go back, please remind me to explain to you guys, if I haven't taught you guys before, because one of the other questions you will get with, now that you have this list, right, is, well, Renee, how do I call someone that I haven't spoken to for like 30 years or 10 years or 5 years, right? How do you call someone and then go and say to them, say what, right? You know, do you call someone and start selling right away? Ew, that is like you're chasing someone, right? So if you have that question, how do I talk to someone that I haven't spoken to? And how do I reinitiate conversations with someone that I haven't spoken to for 5 years? Let me know if you have that question. Okay? But typically when I meet a prospect, or even people that I'm going to call that I haven't spoken to for a long period of time, I hope you've all watched the training on Like and Trust, building Like and Trust, how to ask questions, right, to catch up as well too. But one of the most important things that I've learned is, you know, when you start to someone, first focus on building back up the relationship. In other words, just catch up. And there's basic questions that, like, in my mind, I already have prepared in my mind to go and ask. Because for me, I wasn't really good back then at just thinking off my feet. I really, as a programmer, I wanted to have like step by step, like what are the things I should do in this business, and what are the questions that I should ask. So, and I practice it many times. So my first question I might meet someone and say, hey, how's it going? How are you? No, nice weather. Give a compliment. And and just try to find a conversation. Also, hey, by the way, like, are you from around here? So here's some great questions that I always have in the back of my mind. And depending on the situation, I'll ask these questions, right? Why? What brings you here today? Oh, by the way, what are you from? Nowadays you don't know where anyone is from because everyone's always in different places. And when you ask questions like, oh, by the way, where are you from? That leads to, well, what brought you here? Now you also know that that person might have family in other countries and connections in other countries. And guess what? We have a global business. Every question you ask becomes vital information as well too. Does that make sense, guys? Oh, by the way, what do you do for a living? Another great question, right? That leads to, well, how long have you been doing it for? That leads to, well, do you love what you do? And you must enjoy what you do for a living. And the answer is, well, no, not really. That's, again, more vital information for later on. But what happens is, so let's go back to the example of how do you call someone that you haven't spoken to? Actually, no, let me close the window here so it's a bit quieter. 1 second. Okay, hopefully that's quieter now. And let me turn on the AC so I don't bake like a cooked lobster here. All right. Yeah, the rain is soothing, and I had a hard time waking up this morning. You know, it's raining. You want to sleep in like no tomorrow, right? Which I would have done, but no, I'm kidding. Would not have missed this call for anything. But the question I always get is, Renee, how do I call someone that I haven't spoken to for God knows years, and I even forgot who this person is, right? I even forgot who this person is. So what I always do is, let's say I'm in my phone book, and the next person I want to call is Aiden, okay, or Abby. So I call Abby, and I'm going to pick up the phone. I haven't spoken to Abby. I might have forgotten who this person is. I'll say, "Oh, hey Abby, how are you? By the way, not sure if you remember me, but it's Renee here. How are ya?" And they might say, "Oh, Renee." They might say, "Oh, who are you?" Or they might say, "Yeah, actually, I do kind of recall who you are. How's it going?" And I would just say, "Well, actually, Abby, the reason why I called you is because I was actually looking for another friend in my phone book named Aiden, and I saw your name right below. And I thought, it's been such a long time. I thought, I want to give you a call and see how you've been doing." And that's it. That's it. You just wanted to call just to see how someone's doing. Nothing wrong with that, right? And you'd be surprised how many people, would love to have a conversation, especially if they answer the phone, right? Now, not everyone will answer. Not everyone will have time. But in this business, we are not, always remember this, we are not attached to the outcome of our activities. We're only attached to the process of making phone calls. Because it's simply, do you think that the receptionist at the dentist cares about what is the answer after making the phone call? Like, she's paid $1 per hour to do what? To make calls. Do you think she cares if someone doesn't answer? Do you think she cared or he cares if someone says, "I'm not interested"? What's the answer, guys? Do you think the receptionist at the dentist cares at all if no one answers the phone calls, if someone says no to their service? What does the receptionist do? They pick up the next pile of files and keep making phone calls. Once that's done, regardless of answer, get the next pile, and the next, and the next, and the next, and the next. But sometimes in this business, we take things personally, and there's one piece of advice I can give you. In fact, this advice, not only does it work and apply for business, it applies, I think, for everything in your life, friends, sometimes family. Don't take things personally. Don't get negative, right? I remember seeing a post, like, do you guys know how many seconds there are in a day? Okay, there's 86,400 seconds in a day. I know that because I did not memorize it, I just went to Google. So one day, there's 86,400 seconds. And some of us will let a bad 10 seconds of experience with someone ruin the other 86,390 seconds we have of that day. Can't do it. Don't do it. Don't let it happen to you. Okay, don't do it. Don't let that happen to you. Why won't you let 10 seconds of some bad experience phone call, someone's nasty, say, "Don't call me again, you rotten pineapple." I don't know what they might say to you. I don't know. Right? But why let 10 seconds? Oh yeah, Imelda, that's awesome that your Philippines office is very good at that. Yeah, again, it's funny, right? We have staff in the company, in Auckland, Toronto, in the Philippines, and their job is to try to help call your team and just offer support and say hello. Do you think they're gonna break down and cry and get all negative and quit? Or do they just call the next person and the next and the next and the next? Because that's what they're paid to do. And we have to adopt the same mentality. You just keep on going. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, okay, yeah, it's a sorting process, right? You're sorting the ones that are interested from the ones that aren't interested. But you don't know how to sort them until you call them, right? You can't sort them until you call them, right? There's so much we talk about, and it's never ending. But anyways, so at some point in time, now that you've established conversation again with this person, what do you think they will ask you? What do you think eventually the person you're talking to might ask you on that conversation? You ask them, how's this going? You ask them, how's your family? You ask them, how's blah, 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 blah. What do you think eventually they're going to ask you? Okay, let me see some more answers here. Yeah. Yeah. They're going to ask you, well, what's new with you, Renee? What have you been up to? Right? Or how's it going with you? Right? So, now, again, when you're asking questions, right, that's building like and trust, yes? When they start to ask you questions, now you're kind of becoming like a magnet, right? Because now they're curious, right? Curiosity. Maybe they're being polite. That's okay though. But at least they're asking you, what do you do, or how are you doing? That's kind of like creating curiosity. So, what's new with you, Renee? And this is your opportunity. This is what you've been waiting for, to go and share your message now. And mine might sound like, well, yeah, hey, Abby, things are actually going pretty great with myself. Work is going well. Family is doing great. Kids are doing tennis now. Driving the kids back to school as well too. And actually, by the way, I actually, during this pandemic phase, I actually had been looking for an amazing product that could help a lot of people, and I wanted to bring it to my market. Actually, I'd love to share with you a little bit, if you don't mind, about the product I'm bringing in, and get your thoughts on it. Okay, sure, yeah. So do you see how it's transitioning? And I love to create curiosity by sharing the story of FOL. And I always share the story. The story is, basically, the scientist that I'm working with, and a quick tip, always say things like, my business. Okay, don't say, the business that I joined. Please. Please. Okay, let's not do that. Okay, don't use the words the MLM that I joined, or the business that I joined, or I joined a direct sales company. No, okay, because it's your business. Does it make sense, guys? Right? Our goal here is to share the products, right? It's your business, it's your products. Don't shoot yourself in the foot by saying, because you don't want to group yourself in a preconception that they think that you're in, right? So again, I always use the words like my business, right? So my business, we actually had met a scientist in northern Finland. Okay, guilty. Yes. So we learn things every day, right? So the scientist that our company met, that my company met, basically, it's funny. His wife was complaining about light being blocked into the kitchen. So they asked the scientist. This is actually what I'm telling the prospect, by the way. And so the wife asked the scientist to cut this tree down. And so when he cut the tree down, he actually noticed, even after a few days, that the cut off tree branches on this tree were still alive on the floor. Now, quick pause here. Do you think I'm creating curiosity, guys? Do you think I'm creating curiosity right now? Before I continue. Yeah. I'm being a magnet, right? Be a magnet. Okay, so just have fun, guys, right? Don't ever do that in front of your prospect. Be a magnet. No, don't do that, all right? You're going to just freak out your prospect. They're going to run from you, right? So, but I want you guys to see that I am creating this curiosity, right? Because I'm telling a story. And the story is interesting. So the wife asked the scientist to cut the tree down, and a few days later, he noticed that the cut off tree branches were still alive on the floor. So he actually decided to put one of the tree branches and keep it preserved in his freezer. He put it in the freezer at the back. And a few years later, when the wife was cleaning out the freezer, she asked the scientist, "Hey, what's this tree branch doing in my freezer? Do something with it, or I'm going to throw it away." And when he looked at the tree branch, he realized that the broken end of the branch had completely healed itself, right? And it was still alive. It was still alive. And so that started the whole process of the scientists trying to figure out what is so special about this Norwegian spruce tree that kept it alive even though it's been detached from the tree branch. And they later realized that this tree had the world's most powerful antioxidants. It's a self-healing tree, and our company had harnessed the power of this tree. Is that, again, quick pause here, is that creating more and more curiosity, guys? Do you think I'm becoming a magnet still? Is it creating more curiosity by telling a story? Yeah. Yeah. And so you can see now how we're trying to draw people in by sharing a story that creates curiosity. And so a lot of times people just start asking me, well, can this help with this and this and that? Then you've done a great job at creating curiosity, right? If they're still quiet, I would just basically ask them, yeah, so out of curiosity, are there any sort of health challenges that you or anyone that you know is dealing with right now? Again, asking questions. Again, is there any health challenges that you or someone that you know? Now, why do you think I want to say the words or someone that you know? Because maybe they're thinking they're okay, but usually everyone knows someone else that has some kind of a health issue, right? So I'm expanding the possibilities for the answer, yes, the referrals too. And they might say, so again, here is where you might get some more traction. They might say, yeah, well, actually, I have this issue, I have that issue. And the beauty with Fountain of Life that we all know is it almost does everything, right? As Amarjeet always said, it does everything from A to Z, from head to toe, inside and outside, right? I think I combined what Henry says and what Amarjeet says, and that's the result, right? There's everything from A to Z, head to toe, inside and outside, all right? And so that's all I do. And I repeat this process over and over again, and I'm always trying to add new people to my list. And we'll finish off with that soon. But does that make sense, guys? Does that help? Like what to talk about when you call someone? And you just gotta be ready to dance. You gotta be ready to dance afterwards with where things might go. Maybe they want to get more information. Maybe they want to see more stories. Maybe what you should be doing is, at the very least, you want to tell them, if it's okay with you, let me send you some testimonials so you can see what this product can do. I'll send you some more information. But at least you have started the conversation, and now it's time to follow up, right? But my key training for you guys today was how to initiate that conversation, because there's so many people in your phone book that you have not even given a chance to. And maybe it's not them. Maybe the person you're talking to is not the person who's going to become your superstar leader. Maybe it's someone that they know that they know that they know. But we don't know until we make that phone call. It's the sorting, right? And so, wow, time flies. I'm telling you, like, there's so much more I want to go here. But so the other, I guess, okay, hold on. I was thinking of something. I want to. Okay, so just a second ago, I said let me finish with that, and I already forgot what I said I was going to finish on. Can someone remind me what did I say I was going to finish on? It's like a brief second. And more coffee. Oh, here, let me think about this one.
We were talking about the testimonials, Renee, and sharing your testimonials, I believe.
Oh, thank you. I just remembered. It was how to, what I wanted to talk about, sorry, Gisela, was how to go and add more names to your list. Where to go and prospect, right? Okay? So, there's a billion areas. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We got a great training done by our new GM in Europe, of course, with Scott Lucy. But even before that, you already have a list of people you haven't called, yes? Okay? And now that a lot of the things are opening up, finally, I'm so happy with this, right? Do you guys play sports? Do you guys have hobbies? Write me your answer, right? Do you guys go for walks? Do you play sports? Do you have hobbies? Do you go to the mall? Do you buy groceries? Do you do things that you will run into other people? Walking, great. What else do you guys do? Walk the dog? You know, my wife walks me. I'm kidding. Swimming, great, right? Badminton, tennis. Right? What do you guys do? Tell me. I want to know more about you guys, right? Okay. Zumba, great. Okay. Netflix does not count. Okay. Netflix is you by yourself. Okay. We gotta do less of that and see nature, right? Go out from your house. All right. Gardening, great. So here's the thing, guys. Whatever is your hobby, do you think there is a club or a group or a meetup that does these hobbies? Meetup.com, Eventbrite.com, Facebook events. There's always clubs, events, right? Get a new hobby if you have to. So I love playing badminton, right, guys? Do you think I always play at the same club every time? At the same location, at the same time? No. I go different clubs, different times, because you want to meet new people. So I've combined my hobby with prospecting. And I actually love going during the daytime, because usually the more senior people, the more mature people, go during the daytime. And usually I always see them holding their back or their knees, you know, after they play, because they have some knee pain or back pain. We have someone we can help, right? Opportunity, right? We saw some back pain. Easy there now. We have an opportunity to help someone, right? So, but, you know, so aside from that, again, you know, go find a hobby, join a group. There are badminton for beginners. There is tennis for beginners. Join your local public recreation of something, right? Go grab your local recreation booklet and join something, right? Put yourself in front of more people. Go to networking events, BNIs, breakfast meetups, right? Networking events, go to them. Go and you can do social media marketing, go to Facebook, do your TikToks if you want as well too. But even when you go to the malls, right? Be prepared. As a guy, I love going to the malls with my wife. I always had the brochures. You know that area where people are always sitting down, right? It's always the husbands usually waiting for the wives to finish shopping. I just have fun with that. You know, I say, hey, you know, you waiting for your wife too? And I literally start with that line. It's like a funny thing, right? And we start chit-chatting. And I go through the same thing I just did with you on this call. And I know other people, you know, who will go into a store and, you know, maybe browse around for something and say, oh, you know, you've been a great help. Like, if you're gonna go and buy something, my goodness, what a waste if you just go to the store, grab the thing, and just check out. Like, don't do that. What should you be doing, guys? If you go to a store, you want to buy a pair of shoes, or you want to buy a shirt, even though you know your size, even though you know the item you want, even though you don't need to talk to any customer service person to buy what you're going to buy, what do you think you should actually do, guys? Right? We all buy stuff here. I know it. Okay? You all go to stuff to buy stuff. Right? And especially in some stores, yeah, don't use self-checkout, right? You know, every person you run into, especially if they're going to be, you know, ask someone to help you with a size for a shirt or a shoe. So, you know what, you've been a great help. You're really good at what you do. Like, you know, how long have you been doing this job for? You're so great at talking to people and helping people. Give them a compliment. Another secret of drawing people to becoming a magnet is giving a compliment, right? And then tell them, you know, you're so great at what you're doing. And by the way, you know, just out of curiosity, you know, I'm not sure how much you get paid here, but are you open for other opportunities? Again, I'll finish with this, right? The people who are working in these malls, whether they're the cashier, they're making you your coffee, they're finding you your shoe size or your shirt, do you think they really love what they do? Do you think they love their pay? And I'll finish with this question, guys. What's your answers? Do you think these people who are working in these malls where you're buying stuff really love what they do? Do you think they really love their pay? That they would do it for free? No. They're there for money. Do they want more money? Do you think if they're given a raise, they'd say no? They want more money, right? They want opportunity. But they just don't want to be sold on the opportunity. They want opportunity, but it's weird, right? They want it, but they don't want to be sold on it. So our job is to give a compliment. You know, thank you for your great service today. You've been so helpful. You know, by the way, where are you from? You know, ask those questions, right? What's the harm? The worst that can happen is they say, you dirty pineapple, go away, right? I don't know. You stinky durian, go away, right? I don't know, right? The worst that can happen is you don't know who they are still. But at least if you offer them an opportunity, they might say, you know what, yeah, I'll be totally. I remember when me and Amarjeet and John, we were just, you know, after a long day at Thailand, we're sitting in the lounge and we're just, I think John and Amarjeet, we had like unlimited, it's like a buffet of wine. It was like all you can drink, literally. I just kept tipping the staff, so they just kept bringing like free wine and free wine. Anyways, eventually, I always love to chit chat with the actual waiters. And there's like 3 or 4 of them, and I kept asking them. I just asked them, you know, by the way, like, you know, how long have you been working here for? Like, and how old are you? You look so young. And I actually said to them, by the way, like, how many hours do you work? Can you imagine what their answer was? You can ask John and MG this. They work from like 11 in the morning to like 11 p.m. It's like a 12-hour shift. I was like, are you serious? Like, that's not even legal in Canada, right? But they work from like 10:11 in the morning to 10:11 at night. And I said, out of curiosity, can I ask you just, like, how much do you guys make, you know? And then she goes, there's one waiter guy, and oh, hi, Ja. Great to see you again here. There's one waiter guy and one waitress and one waiter. And they told me working a whole month, they made roughly, I think it was like, John, was like 800 Canadian that they said? 800 Canadian, I think. Yeah, 800 Canadian was what they made working from like 12-hour days. I literally felt so bad for them. I think the tip that I gave them was like a week's pay almost, I think, right? But anyways, after that, because I showed I cared, because I generally do want to know about them, and I asked them these questions. When I asked them, so just out of curiosity, I'm actually leaving for Taiwan tomorrow. I was actually leaving the very next day. But I said, but if you're open for opportunity, I'll have someone in my team, one of our general managers, reach out to you and talk to you about another opportunity with us. We're expanding into Thailand. And I said, are you open for other opportunities? And ask John and ask Amarjeet, what happened next? Because I said, if you are, just give me your name and your phone number, I'll have someone call you, right? What do you think they did? They went right back to the front desk. They grabbed a pen and paper. They came running straight back, name and numbers. Just like that. But the people that we met in Thailand are no different than the people that you meet where you are, right? Wherever you go to shop, it's the same people. They might speak a different language. They might have different skin colors, but they go through the same pain and hardship. Everyone wants to have a better life. Everyone wants to have great health and wants to have more money. They just don't want to be sold on it. They just don't want to be sold on it. So I hope I have driven every little bit of hesitation in your body when you go out there and you go buy your groceries, you go buy your shoes. I hope any bit of hesitancy, I hope I have removed from your very blood and plasma in your body, because we have so many people to help out there. They just don't want to be sold on us helping them. And that's why you want to become that magnet. So anyways, we reached well past the hour. I have some mahjong to play at around 11 a.m. this morning. So, and anyhow, I wanted to say again, thank you so much, everyone, for taking your time to be on the call with me this wonderful morning for me, evening for you. And as we say in Thailand, Kopu Kap, I think Sawadee Kap, and in Chinese, Xie Xie. And turn the call back to our wonderful host, of course, Drusilla, and we'll see you all very soon. Thank you so much, everyone, for your amazing comments. Love you guys. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next call. Drusilla, back to you. Thank you.
Wow, Renee, thank you so much. Yes, and as Ronan said there, this is why you're a leader and LD4 and making over 100,000 a month, Renee, because you know what? You just share. That's all you do. You're sharing. It doesn't feel like we're in a training right now. And the hour just went by so fast. We just got to get caught up to time. So I want to thank you so much, Renee. It's been absolutely amazing. You teaching us tonight, keeping your flow of prospecting up, making that list, be coachable. And I think that is something, our leaders in the company are always stressing about. Just be coachable, just follow the system, and then things will flow after then. And it's been absolutely an amazing hour, Renee. And I just want to thank you so much for your time. Of course, I know you're jumping either from one call to the next or a training to the next. But if anyone, I know Renee, we'll probably have about 2 minutes more. If anyone have any questions about the training tonight, we always like to leave a bit of room. If you'd like to ask something or add something to what Renee said, feel free to do so.
Absolutely.
Close off the call. You can put your hands up. I will unmute you. You're getting a lot of thank yous, Renee. A lot of thank you. Thank you
very welcome.
for your training tonight. So please put your hands up and I will unmute you. You can have a minute or two to share.
Oh, yes, we have the testimonial call as well. That's a powerful call. You can't miss that call, guys. So, yeah, we do have the call. I think I'm taking Drusilla's task away from her. I'll let you go.
That's okay. This is what happens when we have so many hosts, right? So just a quick announcement in the meantime before you go, Renee, in case anyone wants to share anything. In the meantime, I'm going to just go ahead and do a quick announcement about our upcoming dates and events. And also, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, you can leave us a Google comment. You're seeing my screen, right, Renee? Leave us a Google comment. You can take out your phone right now. You can also, do a scan. Yes, it says scan me, and go ahead and leave us a great comment there for Opulence Global. It's absolutely amazing. And here we have this Saturday live training on residual income. And it's going to be absolutely amazing training done by our leader in Philippines, Rico. He's absolutely wonderful. So I was having a bit of a pop-up there. So that's May 14th, and it starts at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So make sure to get on that training. And just one more announcement. Sunday morning, we have a virtual leadership cocktail show that is back in action. We have our wonderful Nancy Kahia, and we have our beautiful host, Lucy Carrera. So make sure to jump on these calls. It's absolutely amazing. You get to learn so much about your leaders. You get to learn so much about their story, how they've become, where they are in their company. So make sure to follow those dates and then take it from there. And yes, Renee, would you like to say something before you go? Is there anything you'd like to add?
I just want to say again, thank you everyone for your gracious comments. And again, I hope that training did help you guys. And again, more importantly, let's apply what you learned tonight and go and help people. They want to be helped. They just don't want to be sold on it. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Have a great day, great evening, great morning.
Thank you, Renee, as always. And just before I go, Renee was just saying that we do have the FOL call in the morning. So tune in at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Check your time zones, and we shall see you there. Come with your questions and come and also share your testimonials. And it's only about Fountain of Life. Just to reiterate that. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful and stay forensic. To the billions, everyone. To the billions. Thank you.